Welcome to this week's Talking Codswallop. I am Gemma.
I'm, as ever, the wonderful, brilliant James. I'm still here. You cannot escape me.
No, we can't. And I wonder if he's ever going to not be wonderful and amazing. So, you know.
Probably not. No, I'll probably stay the absolute fabulous person I am until the end. It's the only way to be. So, you know.
Wow.
And the way you've got to look at it is this is Talking Codswallop. Both the hosts are fabulous. So if one of us stops being fabulous, it'll slightly mess up the seesaw.
Exactly. I suppose that is the case. Yeah, definitely. And We're doing a rare daytime recording. Woo!
It is very rare, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
It's also very rare that it isn't raining right now. The sun is out. It's very unnerving.
Yeah, the sun's out here as well, so that's brilliant. But also just to sort of point out with regards to the daytime recording, because it doesn't really affect James because obviously he's on his own. But obviously I have to take into account two other people and a dog. So One of those people and the dog are currently out having a little walkies, which is very nice. But expect when they come back in to have lots of like running up and down and crazy dog blag.
There will be noise, yeah.
There will be background noise. So, and James keeps hitting his arm on his, on his microphone.
No,
so.
I'm not. I'm actually moving the arm that's attached to my microphone, but I've now put it into what I consider to be an optimal position. So there will be no more squeaky and noise, hopefully.
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, you could have done that before we clicked record, but you know.
I know, but... What can I say? I just like, keep everybody on their toes.
Yeah, my codswallop this week. No,
I can't imagine what it could be.
You actually have no idea what my codswallop is this week.
Oh, excellent. Even better.
Yeah.
I like the surprise.
Yeah. But before we move on to codswallops, have you done anything fun this week? I'm not going to ask you how you are because we all know that both me and James are sick. So,
We're constantly buggered. Have I done anything fun? Not that desperately springs to... Well, it's not fun. It was a necessity. I had to repaint part of my front door. I won't say that's fun. It's just necessity. So I had to do that, which was... but that also leads into my codswallop. So...
okay. Well, we will move on to that in a moment then. And what colour door?
It's an oak door, so you have to put something on. You can't just buy a paint. You have to buy something called Osmo oil. Okay. A very specific thing, and you have to treating it, and it's sanding it and all the stuff that runs along with that. So. Oh,
very exciting. Yeah, homeowner malarkey.
Well, it's the joys of adulthood and home ownership. So don't get old kids and don't own a house.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Don't.
What am I saying? Future generations have got a chance of home ownership. So.
Future generations is one person on this podcast that hasn't got a chance.
Well, you're not missing there is benefit. There's a lot of benefit. I'm not knocking it to home ownership, but there are the upkeep element is less. It's the less fun stuff. But what I did do that was fun, but it's over a week ago now, is I did see, well, I might have mentioned this already, my pal Lyndon came to see me. So
you've mentioned that already.
So that's probably the most fun thing that's happened as of late. But I've spoke to a few people, which is good. I guess I've been out walking where I've been able to do. The fun of that is I get out of breath. But yeah, that's the most interesting, fun stuff I've done, I guess. So.
Well, let's lead on to mine then.
Excellent, yes, because you really have done fun stuff.
Yes, I have.
Tell us more.
I will. Obviously, I mentioned it at the end of, or during last week's episode anyway, but obviously I went to Birmingham this weekend, which was fantastic. Well, the weekend just gone, and to support Jamie and Tom with their event for the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. So yes, so and it was, I mean, the drive up was really hard because I finished work at 4:00 and didn't get there until 9. And I was like an absolute zombie when I got there. I was just like, the woman said, "Oh, do you want to put your registration, for your car sort of thing onto the piece of paper?" Yeah. And I said, I was literally my brain was so fried. I was like, I have no idea. But to be honest, I don't really know my registration yet anyway, or number plate or
whatever. Shocking. Terrible.
I've not had it that long, James, so leave me alone. And and then also, and then she said to me, oh, well, don't worry about that. Just put the colour and the make and model.
Oh God!
Yeah,
I bet you couldn't remember that.
I was stood looking at this piece of paper for a good 30 to 60 seconds, and I was going, I can't.
You should have just scrolled car.
Yeah, I just went. I wrote
Car.
black. Its name's Loki. No, I didn't write that. But all of a sudden, my brain just kicked in and was like, Vauxhall Corsa. It's okay.
That's good. That's positive. Yeah. I can see what. Yeah, I mean, I totally understand why you'd forget. If you're that knackered.
Yeah.
It does happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, checked into the room. I'm not going to say the hotel name because I've got a couple of like niggles with them.
Okay.
So I don't want to, as a whole, it was fine. You know what I mean? But there were a few disappointing factors with the room. One being that the headboard was hanging off the wall.
Nice.
It's broken. Did I send you the picture of that or not?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll send you a picture and maybe put it up on social media or whatever so that people can see, like what I mean by it was just hung on, but it like ripped. So it had fallen down on one side basically. So I was a bit like, oh, I hope in the night it doesn't fall down a little bit more and whack me on the head. But it didn't. So that's good. And then the next morning I went to take a shower and it was stone cold water. Like even when I put it up to the hot water, it was absolutely freezing cold. And I was like...
So what you're telling me is you were staying in a top-notch quality establishment.
Oh, I think I was. Yeah, definitely. And I think it's just that it's an old building. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's because the hotel I used to work for, we used to have a lot of this kind of thing that it was because it was a older building that like the pipes didn't work and stuff like that or whatever for the for the shower, or it worked up until a certain point, and then obviously everybody used the water and it was cold. Even to the point when I made myself a cup of coffee, there was a hole in the coffee cup and I was like,
honest to God, what sort of strange sort of third world hotel is this? They can't even give you a cup without... Oh, dear Lord. That's terrible. I'll be at the front desk going, guys, what is this? Yeah,
I kind of thought to myself, well, do you know what? I'm not even going to bother, somebody else's problem when I've gone, you know what I mean?
I am impressed that you didn't end up getting bed bugs by the sounds of this place. So.
No, otherwise than those little niggles, because they are really only little, it was a really nice hotel. So, but unfortunately I just seem to have got the brunt of any little issue, but they didn't have a phone in the room. So like if you wanted to say anything to anyone at reception, you had to go all the way downstairs. And it's like, I can't be asked. So
you obviously got the cursed room. So
yeah, I think I did, but it is what it is. So I won't be sort of saying, like, obviously I said that I won't be saying the hotel name because I don't like giving sort of bad juju, kind of thing. So.
You can tell me off mic so I know to never ever go there.
Yes, I will. But anyway, so that next day I met up with Lucy Caton, which is fantastic. I always love meeting up with Lucy, and she came to the hotel.
So you could almost say I love Lucy.
I love Lucy. Yeah, I do. But, not in a romantic way. Sorry, Lucy. But, we met up at around 12 o'clock and popped to a pub to have a quick drink and then went back to her flat for a bit. And I saw one of the kittens and the other one was hiding under the bookcase. So, but they're rescue cats. So... they've been treated really badly. So I was expecting them to be kind of a little bit on the nervous side of, because obviously I'm a stranger. So, I didn't run in the room going, oh my God, it's a cat. I love you. As much as I wanted to.
Yeah, that would be slightly unnerving for them.
Yeah, definitely. So, so we obviously then... just had a good old natter and, moaned about James. We came up with a, you were supposed to laugh then.
No, it's, I'm just waiting to hear what the next comment is. That's all before I make my decision.
But we decided when we were on the bus on the way into Birmingham that we were going to have a drinking game. And we were going to say anytime that anyone that said indeed, we were going to have a shot.
Right, okay.
And then anytime we saw a ginger child, we were going to have another shot.
How sober were you by the end of the...
Well, the problem was that we came... And also thumbs up as well, if anyone gave a thumbs up, we'd have to have a shot. Yeah. But the problem was that we came up with this idea on the bus. Got off the bus and went to just a Wetherspoons to get something to eat and have a couple of drinks. Our friend Gary, he actually brought us some shots as well because we were very cheeky, and I put up a little post saying, there's 4 gorgeous ladies here who are looking for drinks if you want to pay for them, because they could do it on the app. So so that was very, very kind of Gary, so thank you, Gary. And but when we actually sort of got off the bus and went into the pub, we completely forgot about our game until we were getting the taxi on the way home. So I was like, oh, well, we failed that, didn't we?
These things happen. These things happen. Indeed, they do.
Indeed. Shot for every time that anyone says indeed. But yeah, for future reference, that might be a good game to play. So,
one for the future.
Yeah. And then basically, we went to the venue for the gig. So, and they put on an amazing show. Jamie really came out of his shell. I was so proud. I was proud of Tom, but I was really, really proud of Jamie, purely and simply because it was when he first got up on stage, you could tell he was nervous and anxious, because let's face it, wouldn't anyone? And he was talking into the microphone a bit quietly, not too quiet. You could hear what he was saying, sort of thing. But he was nervous, so you could tell. But by the end of it, he was absolutely bouncing off the stage. He was shouting into the microphone how excited he was, and it was just so amazing to see, and he said, oh yeah, alcohol's had a good part in this, I
was going to say, had he maybe been drinking slightly?
Yeah, he had, but at the same time, he was still, you could just see that he was just so happy and proud of what he'd done, you know what I mean? And it was beautiful
as he should be. That's very good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah, and the bands were amazing. There was 4 bands, and they were really good as well, because this is the first time that I've actually seen live music for ages as well, so that was nice. I had to drive all the way to Birmingham to go and see it,
It's all part of the experience, though, isn't it?
Yeah, and the Sophie Lancaster Foundation were there as well. And I got to speaking with Adam, who's Sophie's brother.
Yes.
And he's, well, obviously I've got to reach out to him and stuff, but he said about coming onto our show to have a little chat about the foundation. So
excellent, yeah.
That would be good, yeah. And but I had a good chat with him outside, because we were outside having cigarettes and stuff like that. So yeah, I had a good old chat with him. And it's such a lovely guy, but I had to give him, well, obviously I asked first, but I had to give him a cuddle and say I'm sorry for his losses and stuff, But he said yes, obviously, to the hug. Not, I didn't just throw myself at him.
Randomly hugging him.
No, yeah, exactly. The final total's not in yet with regards to how much money Jamie and Tom actually raised, but I think he said that it's around about the 400 mark, which is just brilliant, isn't it?
That's very good. That's very good.
It is. It's really fantastic. So, yes. So, yeah, and then obviously I drove home the following day to be greeted by Mr. Socks, who was just bounding up and down the corridor so excited to see me because, I'd been away for 48 hours. What have you done? I've missed you.
Yes, he is slightly mental like that, isn't he?
No, he loves me. That's the problem. Not the problem, but...
Well, yes, maybe it is a problem.
No.
Trade it out of him.
I tell you what, James, on a serious note, though, I know we're having a laugh now, but on a serious note, there is nothing like coming home to a dog because you just feel so welcomed and loved, you know, when you're the person who lives there.
Yeah.
Not necessarily when you're the postman, I know. But, yeah.
Or a burglar.
He was so excited, like his tail couldn't wag any harder or faster, you know what I mean? It was just like, oh my God, I love you, you're back.
Good. No, that's nice to hear. As long as you can eat the furniture, that's the other one you don't want to come back to, because it can happen with doggies, unfortunately. Some of them can get a bit chompy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't leave him on his own.
No.
Yeah.
But, God, that'd be awful. Can you imagine coming home and the dog's eating your furniture?
Yeah. Well, I mean...
You're getting rehoused very, very quickly. Gemma, do you want another dog?
I was going to say, he wouldn't do that anyway, though. No. He's actually really well behaved, so he's a good boy. You leave my dog alone.
How the hell have I taken a shot at your dog?
I don't know. I just decided that I wanted to,
defend him.
Yeah,
against a fake comment. Okay.
Defending him against the idea that he might eat a sofa.
We should put the idea in his head. You'll find him later on just sat looking at the sofa.
Yeah. Sofa. Sofa's tasty. So I mean, that's my news. Don't think I've got anything else.
Sounds brilliant. Good stuff. I'm glad it all went well. Well done, guys.
Yeah. It was really, really good. And they did, like I said, they did an amazing job. So should we get into our codswallops, James?
I think so. I'll let you go first, Gemma.
Okay, but 2 seconds before we do, because I just realised that I haven't put the power on my laptop. So just bear with me one moment,
Always
caller.
Needed. Always a good idea.
Yeah, hold on. Ta-da! Yeah, I was just looking at the laptop bar and I was going... Why is that going down? Why?
Yes.
Yeah.
The creator of the adapter plug rests easy.
I know. Yes, definitely. Well, thank God I noticed that until, now, rather than, when it actually just went and shut down. So did you want to go first with codswallops?
No, I was going to let you go first. What is your codswallop, other than a weird hotel with cups with holes in them?
Yes.
And funny falling stuff.
Funny enough, that was going to be my codswallop, but now it's not. So something else has pissed me off even more.
The rage.
Yeah. So every time it's payday, basically, I give myself a payday treat, which is a McDonald's breakfast.
Okay.
And I absolutely...
Breakfast is a debatable term, but... Or that food is a debatable term.
Well, yeah, I know, but, still...
If you like it, it. That's fine, yeah.
But I only do it sort of once a month as a treat, kind of thing for myself. So, yeah, which is fair enough. Right, so this morning is payday. So today's payday. And as James knows, obviously, I had a bit of a bad night with a bit of coughing last night. I think it's hay fever rather than anything else. So I was a little bit later getting up than I normally would be. But I still had plenty of time because obviously you've got to get there before 11 o'clock. And I, obviously head out. Drove down there and knew that I was going to be cutting it fine. But, I knew that I'd have like 5 minutes spare to kind of place the order and get it, pick it up or whatever. So anyway, the traffic was quite bad. So, that wasn't ideal. And then when I actually got to the part where it was, pick up the McDonald's sort of thing, or even order it, sorry. There was one car that decided that it was going to drive into the most awkwardest of spaces and really take its time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, right, okay, yeah, come on, yep, come on, and it's like literally taking forever to do this. And then the car in front of that then decides to do reverse park into the other parking space that's literally right next door to it. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So that 5 minutes I had spare, I was sat waiting for these two assholes to actually park their car. And I was like, no.
Wow. I mean, we've hit on the ultimate first world problem.
I know.
Is there any way, just out of interest, to solve this? Is there any way you could have just parked anywhere and got and walked in?
No, well, not really, because it's on an industrial estate.
Right.
Yeah, so the only way you can sort of drive in is the way that I was driving in, and I was gonna use my app while I was waiting for them to park, but then I thought, well, I'm not supposed to use my phone. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, no. So tomorrow is going to be my treat day instead of today.
Set off super early.
Yeah.
To fight traffic and weird parking people.
Yes, indeed, I will. Indeed.
You'd be 2 shots in by now.
Yeah, exactly. Or at least I think, you've got to have said it, and I said it, at least 3 or 4 times. So, way. Yeah. So, I mean, that just irritated me. They didn't have to. It's like when I parked up, I just did the whole swing into the car parking space and parked perfectly. You know what I mean? I was just like, da-da, this is how it's done. went to use the app because it was like, it had just turned 11, so I wondered if I could get away with it, but no, it didn't work. So I was like, oh.
You've educated me because I didn't know when McDonald's stopped serving breakfast. I wasn't even aware there was a McDonald's app. So I've learned something new.
Yes. Yeah, there is an app. So, and you get quite a few deals on that as well. So, it's quite good. It's quite good to get like the offers and stuff. If you pay £20, you get £5 off, Who pays £20 at McDonald's? I don't know. But I suppose if you're doing it for a family, family of 4 or whatever, maybe. But
family purchase or just really, 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 really wants McDonald's, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take everything off the menu, thank you.
Do they still do something called, is it a pound menu? So £21 items?
Not exactly. There's the 99p menu. So, right. But it's not like 20 items. It's like, I think about 3 or 4 items on there. So
you'd have to get repetitive numbers of the same thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Why not? Hey, if it's what somebody wants, it's what somebody wants.
Exactly. Oh, we got the dog turning up. Here we are. Here's the dog. It's going to go crazy in the hallway.
Well, I can't hear anything yet, so.
No, I can hear it in the background, so I'm sure it's going to happen shortly. But anyway.
Socks, be quiet, yeah.
It's daytime recording. We can't expect everybody to be quiet at all times, so, it's all good. But, so that's my codswallop for this week. So what's your codswallop?
Well, my codswallop is this. Tadpoles, I want to set the scene. So imagine you're, bit unwell, back trouble, causing you a lot of pain. It's been going on for several days. You share this information, hoping to get sympathy. Your co-host tears you a new one, takes the Michael.
She gets bored of hearing it from time to time. You know what I mean?
However, here's the real interesting codswallopy bit to this. So,
yeah.
I'd had to paint the door and stuff, and I was doing that in pain, and it wasn't great, and I'm thinking it's just getting worse and worse. But here's where it gets really interesting. So, unlike the third day where it got really bad with my back, I was on the stair, because I couldn't stand up straight, and I was stood on the stairs. I'm thinking, this isn't good. So I thought, I'll just feel where my back's sore, and I'm feeling it. And for those of a queasy disposition, you may not like this, there are 2 bumps sticking out my back.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, oh shit, I've never felt this before.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is really not good. And I couldn't straighten up proper. Anyway, did a bit of yoga.
Yeah.
As well as I could, and did the front facing dog. And I just heard this click. as I straighten up and I can feel something go in. And yeah, obviously, I went and had my Swedish massage, and Dean was very gingerly working on the area of my back because he'd known about he has to gingerly working all the time, so it bloody hurts, but he was gingerly checking. He said basically he had probably popped a couple of discs. So it explained why it had been as painful as it had been for the few days. But yeah. And he just was making sure everything was in. But yeah, he said what I'd done was obviously pop some discs. So yeah.
Oh,
not
goodness.
fun. So that is my codswallop because it was bloody painful.
Yeah. No, all right, I'll let you off then, this time. The one time I'm not sympathetic and it's actually something bad.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just like when I was there and I'm going, okay, I've never quite felt stuff sticking out before. Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to be pretty surreal, isn't it? Pretty scary.
It's strange, yeah. It's like you become a spiny dinosaur or something. It's
yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh well, I'm glad that it sort of popped back in and whatnot, and you could get it sorted. But are you feeling a bit better now with it? It's not as painful.
I always get back pain, but it's still slightly sore. But it's nothing like it was. It was days of just. Yeah, pain.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's all resolved. But yeah, I thought I'd throw it in as a bit of amusing codswallops.
Fair enough. Oh, fair enough. And on a side note, I've said this to you via message anyway, but I really want to get Dean on as a guest just to find out, say, oh God, have you ever had such a terrible customer as James?
To be fair, I'm a wonderful customer. I'm a repeat customer. I'm the greatest customer known to man.
Well, yeah, I know. It's actually, maybe when the door opened, he went ka-ching with pound signs in his eyes.
I think it's pretty much for ka-ching and holy crap, he's having to fix bits of me because it must be some of it. I certainly know when he worked on my elbow, that was really scary stuff. So.
Yeah. It's like, he does all these exercises now with his fingers and his thumbs just to strengthen them up. He knows that James is coming in. Yeah.
It's like an intensive training course. It's like bodybuilding for the hands.
Yeah. He's got little weights for his fingers. Yeah. I don't know why I demonstrated that then, because, you can't see it, can you? So.
Nope, certainly can't. I'll just have to take your word for it.
Right. Well, James, we asked the Salty Tadpoles to have a bit of a laugh this week because, there's a lot of serious stuff going on in the world. And I think it's important for us to all have a really good laugh. So I asked the Salty Tadpoles this week to give us their best weird, funny, crude, rude dad jokes, whatever, So should we get into that segment of the show this week? And we had a phenomenal amount on the Facebook page. So I'm going me and James between us are going to read them. We also did have an amazing response from Twitter and also one response from Instagram. So it's always fun when there's always one response from Instagram. Oh, and sorry, I do apologize. There was also one from WhatsApp as well.
Yeah, you're all sick perverts.
Not sick perverts.
Don't
call them sick perverts. No, let's not call them that because otherwise they might not interact again. So let's take that bit out.
Okay.
Okay. But they're all funny, amazing people, James, is what you mean, isn't it?
Sure, yes. It's like a hostage tape for me right now. You are all wonderful people. I am not being held against my will.
So shall I start with the one from Andy?
Yes, let's see what Andy has to say.
Yeah, and I did say that you owe us after the story from last week, so these better be good. And he put, here are some really good books I'd recommend. At the North Pole by Icy Blast.
Oh, God.
Spring is Here by Teresa Green. Tiger's Revenge by Claude Body.
I actually quite like that one.
So that's Andy's input So did you want to take the first one from the Facebook, which should be Ian Shaw?
Yes. So Ian Shaw's put, what do you call this? Half of one of these. Okay, this might be more of a visual joke. Yes.
And then Stephen Greening says, what is the difference between pink and purple? The grip. Da-da-da-da-da.
Perfect.
I like that one.
Bob Murden Brown put, what's the difference between a buffalo and a bison? You can't wash your hands in a buffalo.
You know you can laugh afterwards, James.
Well, yeah, but I can only laugh if it amuses me. What's the UK's most common owl? Teat.
Yeah. Tea towel.
Yeah.
Oh.
But a bump.
Well, we did ask for cheesy jokes as well, and dad jokes, so it's all good.
Thank you, Bob. You certainly did give us some cheesy stuff there.
Right, so James Higson says, what's the difference between you and a mallard with a cold? One's a sick duck, and I don't remember the rest, but your mother is a whore.
Yeah.
I had so much fun with these, sorry.
Tom Riley put, what's invisible and smells of bananas? A monkey's fart.
Don't worry, guys. I'm just going to laugh, okay? Because James is clearly not in the laughing kind of mood. He's so terrible today.
Painful.
James Higson, if you choke a Smurf, what colour does it turn?
And this was definitely, this isn't me trying to make a bad joke, but I've realised I am going to do say this. This is a two-hander, because James Higson has put the answer is within this film. And yes, I have seen it. My Eyes, My Beautiful Eyes. And it's Hustler, the porn studio. This ain't Smurfs.
Yes, and that was from Tom Riley. Yeah.
Like I said, a two-hander. And this one's really great, got a life of its own, because it's literally just it's going through post after post after post. And Tom Riley's felt the need to put up, I'm assuming, can only be one of the stars, somebody called Lexi Bell. So these guys really obviously have studied this film with some real depth.
Good for them. Oh dear. So James Higson again says, what do you call the French? Anything you like. They're going to surrender anyway.
Yep. Cheese-eating surrender monkeys, as they said on The Simpsons.
Yes.
Lester Smulsky has put, I saw 50 Shades of Grey for £5. My wife said that's pretty good. Works out just 10p a shade. To which Ian Shaw's followed up with, Lester, speaking of which, apparently they are planning on writing an erotic thriller about Partygate, 50 Shades of Sue grade.
Oh, God. Right, so James Higson again. Man goes to the florist, tells him he'd like a bunch of flowers. Florist asks, what are they for? Man replies, a shag, hopefully.
Ever the optimist. Gary Noppers Azaro has put, how do you make 100 old ladies say fuck? Shout bingo! Nice. And why does Rupert Bear wear checkered trousers? Because he's a cunt. Okay.
Okay, you know I don't like that word, but still.
No, that did nothing for me. Sorry, Gary.
Oh. Right. Roy Brown says, one night a Viking named Rudolph the Red was looking out of the window when he said, it's going to rain. His wife asked, how do you know? And he then replied, because Rudolph the Red knows reindeer.
Ooh, very. I mean, that's, you could tell that, yeah, you could tell that to an elderly person and they'd enjoy it. All good humour.
Yeah. I think I'd like to read his next one, if that's okay as well.
My answer machine's going to kick in. Someone's ringing me.
Is it your dad?
No, it won't be my dad. I don't know whether they are. They've not. It'll be a business, one of these dodgy businesses.
Okay.
They've hung up. So,
right. So his next one is also, male bees die after mating. their life is basically cheery nut. Sorry, hold on.
Come on, start again. Rewind it.
Male bees die after mating. Their life is basically Honey Nut Cheerio.
Oh, yeah.
That one really, really tickled me, as I wrote on the comments. So, and then your turn. Gary's back for one more.
Gary's back again.
Yeah.
So, how many Satanists does it take to change a light bulb? None. Let darkness reign. He's also got one for the older listeners, as is usual from me. Matthew Kelly's hosting the popular ITV show Stars in Their Eyes and introduces his next guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our next star wannabe, a remarkable young man, Simon Smith. The audience cheer as a young man on crutches slowly hobbles onto the stage and joins Matthew. Simon, Matthew says, you're here with us tonight after a remarkable and traumatic time. You were supposed to be on our last series, appearing with your uncle, weren't you? But then tragedy struck, didn't it? Tell us what happened. As the audience give a sympathetic sigh, Simon tells his story. Matthew, my uncle and I were on our way to the studio last year, but were involved in a horrific car crash. He died and I had to have my legs amputated, but they saved my uncle's legs and grafted them onto me. In 6 months' time, I will be able to walk again, so I'm appearing here tonight, determined and wanting to pay tribute to him. That's amazing, says Matthew. Who are you going to be for us tonight, then? Tonight, Matthew, I'm going to be Simon and Half Uncle. Oh, God. Gary, I like it, and I'm seriously impressed how much time you've put into these.
And then oh my God, I'm saying my own surname wrong. Ryan Williams.
It's a shame, isn't it, when the memory starts to go?
I know, it's crazy. So anyway, Ryan Williams. What pronouns does chocolate use? Hershey.
Oh, God, that's just painful.
Oh, it's good. And also, one of our Salty Tadpoles, Tracy Barker, she actually shared it onto the Bowling for Soup fan page as well for us. So there are a few more that are on that as well. So
Excellent.
Let me read those. So Aaron Stevens says, there's going to be a lot of people in Bristol tonight. Why? They live there.
Can't see me, I'm shaking my head.
I think it's Cassidy Hoffman as Kasady. I'd say that's Cassidy, would you?
Ralph Garman's head's just exploded, but yeah, that is Cassidy.
Yeah. Where does a king keep his armies? You can interact by saying, I don't know, or whatever.
Go on. I've gone quiet 'cause I was waiting for the answer, but go on.
In his sleeveys.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Andy Portman says, geography teacher, where are the Andes, Billy? Oh, sorry, where are the Andes? Billy, on the end of my wristies, miss.
Yeah, I think at that point Billy would need some corporal punishment.
Steve Milligan. Metallica have never been seen on a single episode of Sesame Street. Master of Puppets, my arse. I really like that one.
That's not a bad one. I like
that. Raymond Phillips. Did you hear about the guy whose wife chased him around the church and grabbed him by the organ?
Oh, that's just... Oh.
Right. So that's Facebook sorted. Right, so our one and only answer from Instagram. Thank you very much, Nathan Page, our very awesome paranormal expert, which I have to remember as well. He sent me another box of chocolates because I finally ran out, James. So
the poison chocolates, excellent.
Yes, so he sent me more poison chocolates and they went down in a hoot with the last lot. So this lot will as well, I'm sure.
Good.
So Nathan Page has said, I got a joke. My sister's not speaking to me because I dropped my nephew. It's the last time I'm going to be the bearer.
Holy cow.
It's not real, James. So now we're on to Twitter. So, okay. So this is, I know that this is from Timmy, but it's from his podcast, which is Big Timmy's House. How do you get Pikachu on a bus?
I have no idea.
You Pokemon.
Oh.
Oh, that was a good impression. He's one of my Pokemon friends, so you leave him alone. So that's Timmy Dawson. But it's also, on his other account, he has given us a few more, which is, his other account is the Tim Popper of the Codswallop Cherry. A man and a giraffe walk into a bar. After a few drinks, the giraffe falls over and dies. The man begins to walk out when the bartender stops him. "Hey, you can't leave that lion there," the barman yells. The man turns round. "It's not a lion, it's a giraffe." Ba-da-bum-ba-dum-bum. Okay, so this next one is from Dan Felton. A sailor meets a pirate at a dock. The pirate has all of the stereotypical things: a peg leg, an eye patch, and a hook for his hand. The sailor asks the pirate the story behind each of them. "How'd you get the hook?" he asked. The pirate says, "Lost me hand in a green battle." Yeah, that was a really good pirate expression. "What about the peg leg?" the sailor says. Pirate says, "Oh, that was from a shark when I fell overboard at the time. One time." And the eye patch, asks the sailor. "Ah, that was from a dropping of bird poop got into my eye." The sailor's like, "Oh my God, bird poop made you lose your eye?" asks the sailor. And the pirate says, "Aye, well, it was my first day with the hook, you see." So this next one is from Gareth's Random Ramblings podcast, or GRR podcast, as I like to always call it, GRR pod. So Gandhi walked barefoot most of the time, which produced an impressive set of calluses on his feet. He also ate little, which made him frail, and with his odd diet, he suffered from bad breath. This made him super kalos, fragile, mystic, hexed by halitosis.
Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear.
While waving your own hand in the Queen wave, why can't the Queen wave with this hand? Because it's mine.
God, that's, I mean, yeah. Oh, fantastic.
It is. It's very puntastic. So there was a lot of answers there that were absolutely phenomenal. I think I've got all of them. If I didn't, I do apologise. But I'm pretty certain that I got everybody there. So yeah, so that is how funny our listeners are. So or our salty tadpoles are. So what do you reckon, James? Did any of those really make you giggle?
No, but I don't think they were intended to, but I'm glad that people all put the effort and send us these terribly puntastic jokes.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I really enjoyed them.
I know the person doing Indeed is now you, because you're just thinking you can listen back to this and treat it as your own drinking game and get drunk. That's
basically what I'm doing for when I edit it. Yeah, definitely. Yep. So, yeah, definitely. I don't want to have a sober edit anymore. It's really boring. No. So, well, I don't know about you, James, but instead of ending with a story of the week, shall we just end with obviously the fact that we've had our wonderful listeners supply the story, the funny jokes.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I think that's a good way of doing it.
Yeah. So it's a little bit shorter than usual, but, still a hopefully really funny episode. And haven't had any feedback as to whether they enjoyed our rapping from last week, but I know I really did. So,
I mean, it could be that they're all traumatized from the rapping, but you've got to try new things.
Yeah. I think it's going to become something a little bit more in my head. It's working its way round, so you never know. Well, James, in that case, then I think we've been talking enough codswallop this week. I have been Gemma.
I've been James.
Indeed, you have. Shot, 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 shot,
Yep.
shot, shot, shot.